You've heard me talk about collagen in every video that I make. Collagen is the most important protein in our skin that keeps us looking youthful, refreshed, firm, lifted, all of the above. It helps keep our elastin, which helps the elasticity of our skin. It helps keep our bounce back. It helps with our hyaluronic acid so that we look well hydrated. So yes, collagen is important. My name is Chantal Ward, and I'm a registered nurse specializing in medical aesthetics. I'm here today to give you all the information that you need so that you can make sound decisions for yourself and your anti-aging journey. When does your collagen begin to decline? Well, I hate to break it to everybody, at age 25. At age 25, moving forward, we're going to lose 1% of our collagen every year. And then we hit perimenopause. And then we hit menopause. Our collagen loss exponentially increases as we get later on in life. When we're 20, our skin is firm, we've got bounce back, we have this beautiful jawline, we don't have this wobble neck. It's natural to have a decline in collagen as we age. But if we can control things such as the environmental, our nutritional, then you're already leaps and bounds and steps ahead. What causes our collagen to reduce? Well, you've got intrinsic factors, so that's your genetic makeup. So your mom, your grandmother, your grandfather, whatever, genetically, that's who you are. You can't change that. But you can prevent further collagen reduction by doing good skincare, by looking after yourself. And I'll get into that a little bit later on. You can have different genetic programming so that, there's really not much we can do, but we can prevent collagen from diminishing due to these extrinsic factors such as lifestyle, UVA, UVB exposure, smoking, alcohol consumption, the list goes on. So UV exposure is probably the number one photo-aging phenomenon that goes on in our own bodies. So we want to make sure that we protect ourselves and our skin cells from the UVA as much as possible. So if you have sun damage or you get a sunburn, you actually create an injury and then you get that pigmentation or you get this overproduction of melanocytes. And these enzymes that are produced when you do that actually eat up the collagen. So you're getting a whole lot of reduction of collagen every time you go outside without a hat, sunglasses, and SPF. Pollution and environmental. It blows my mind when I have people that live in the city that I know they're diligent. They cleanse their skin, they tone their skin, they use great skincare. But when they come in after walking, an hour and a half in the summer to come see me for a treatment, their skin is gross. It's dirty. The pollutants are everywhere. Can you imagine if you lived in a city that was full of industrial manufacturing, how bad it would be? Well, we have so much of this happening around us every day. And the reason why, this is hard on our skin is because it causes oxidative stress. So it actually creates a toxin or the stress to the skin that reduces the collagen production and weakens the skin structure. Lifestyle factors, we've talked about this before, smoking, poor oxygenation to the tissue. Our skin is our biggest organ, so we want to make sure that we're providing it with as much nutrients as possible at all times. Lack of sleep. If you don't get a great night's sleep, your fibroblast production will not be optimal, which then affects your collagen, your elasticity, your tone, your skin snapback, all of those wonderful things. Poor diet. If your diet consists of more poutine and French fries, then you're not going to have the best skin ever. So poor diet actually affects the amino acids from our gut that actually make their way to our skin and will give you that poor luster. It reduces the collagen synthesis, let alone acne breakouts, but you're not going to have that beautiful, fresh, elastic, firm looking skin. So diet is important. It's okay to have a poutine once in a while or a burger, but make sure you look after your internal gut, because that will actually have a direct effect on our skin. Hormonal changes, so a decline in our estrogen or an increase of testosterone or progesterone. As we enter into this perimenopause and menopause, there are options for women to do bioidentical hormones or visit their family doctor to make sure that their estrogen levels, as they start to decline, that they're being replenished in one shape or form. Okay? Because that is really important for our collagen synthesis. Mechanical stress. So things like repeated facial expressions. So we've talked about these number 11s, these wrinkles on the forehead. But if you're constantly contracting down, you get this stress on the tissue that creates an abnormal scar formation because of the mechanical injury to the tissue. So doing things like preventative Botox will help alleviate the muscle contraction or that repeated stress on that tissue, and you'll have less wrinkles at rest. Sleeping positions. If you're sleeping and your face is smushed on a pillow like this, you will have an asymmetrical face. Sometimes I can tell exactly what side you sleep on when you come in for a consultation, and people will look at me and say, "How did you know?" Well, you will see wrinkles, more wrinkles on that side. You'll see a deflation in volume, so those fat pads, and that stress of sleeping on that same side is very obvious. How can we tell that you've lost collagen? Well, that's when fine lines and wrinkles start to appear. You get sagging skin. You don't have that elasticity and tone. We've talked about this. We've gone through a number of discussions through my previous videos, so feel free to watch those. But understanding how to stimulate new collagen is really the key. Prevention is first, and then how do we stimulate? As I've mentioned in the past, diet is key, getting the right vitamins and nutrients and proteins to make sure that you have the best optimal gut health. Supplements, you can actually take supplements that will help hydrolyze new collagen, such as peptides. There's so many things out there that I would suggest that you look at a naturopath or a homeopathic person that can give you some guidance on how to supplement and give you the best nutritional balance. Lifestyle modifications. We've mentioned this. Sun protection, wearing, a daily SPF, wearing a hat when you're at the beach, sitting in the shade. I love being at the cottage. I love being on the lake, but, I do spend a lot of time reapplying my sunblock every hour, wearing a hat and sitting in the shade most of the day. Doing things like great topical skincare. We've talked about retinols. Retinols will actually help that cell turnover, that will help synthesize new collagen. Doing a topical vitamin C ferulic. This has so much clinical data in building new collagen or helping the collagen be at its optimal health. There are so many things that we can do. We've got biostimulatory injectables. So we call it regenerative medicine. So rather than doing a hyaluronic or an HA filler, we're now going to do a regenerative injectable that is going to stimulate new collagen. So there are a number of ingredients on the market. There's a CAHA, so calcium hydroxyapatite. There's a PLLA. There's so many things now that we can offer through an injection below the surface of the skin to really stimulate that wound healing to build type 1 and type 3. Remember, type 1 and type 3 is the most important collagen. Things like doing thread lifting. We've talked about InstaLift in some of my short videos, but that will give you that lift, but the technology is there to actually build new collagen. Things like PRP, so platelet-rich plasma, which is your blood that we are re-injecting into the skin to stimulate the ultimate healthy environment. There are so many options, and I know it's difficult to make a decision on what is right for you. When I look at my top 3 procedures or things that I like to do for my skin or for my clients that come into clinic is I'm almost insistent that they get on great skincare, first of all. Secondly, if they have the laxity, I love doing that focused ultrasound that's going to give the lift, and then doing the regenerative type injections. These regenerative type injections keep people looking normal, natural, and over time, the results of everything combined get better with time. For me personally, if you were to look at my pictures from 5 years ago, 10 years ago to today, you will see a very dramatic change in how I look. And I think I look natural. What I would suggest is that you book yourself a consultation and you do that consult with myself or other healthcare providers in the medical aesthetic field that can give you guidance on what is the best option for you. I want to thank you for watching this video. If you have any comments or questions, please put them in the comment section below. Give me a thumbs up, and I hope you subscribe.